Two brothers, one plan, $4 billion that weren't theirs. They didn't hack an exchange. They built one and robbed it themselves. Scammed thousands of users. Just took everything. Clean sweep. And then, while people were blacking out from panic, they casually boarded a plane and vanished. No charges, no arrests. They just disappeared. How the hell is that even possible? We're about to find out.
2019. South Africa. Two kids with angel faces and predator brains step into a game where the stakes are in the billions. Raees Cajee, 20 years old, but in crypto since he was 13. The kind of guy who, instead of going to school dances, hung out on Bitcoin geek forums, learned how to work with wallets, and made his first trades back when BTC cost as much as a pack of cigarettes. Ameer Cajee, 17, the younger brother, officially the chief operating officer in their businesses. And yeah, it sounds funny, COO at 17. But in the crypto world, nobody cares about your age if you're making money. They launch Africrypt, an innovative crypto platform where supposedly an artificial intelligence trades Bitcoin on its own and prints profits. In reality, a classic Ponzi scheme wrapped in a high-tech shell. The main hook? Up to 10% profit per day. For the poor, a chance to go from riding the bus to driving a convertible in a couple of weeks. For the rich, paranoia. If I don't get in now, I'll miss the deal of a lifetime. The idea was genius in its simplicity. They weren't just selling returns. They were selling an emotion. The fear of missing out, the hunger to be inside, a secret that not everyone knew. People themselves built the pictures of the future in their heads. Villas, yachts, early retirement. Africrypt wasn't giving them money. Africrypt was giving them a dream. And no one yet suspected that this very dream would turn into the most expensive nightmare in the history of African crypto. Africrypt didn't just slip onto the scene. It tore through the infospace like a midnight firework exploding in the sky. The Cajee brothers understood one simple truth. In crypto, it's not so much about what's under the hood. It's about how you look on the billboard. They hit the media like rock stars of finance. Rapper Nasty C spitting bars at parties with their logo in the background. South African football legend Benny McCarthy clapping them on the shoulder. And in the promos, Charlize Theron herself, the symbol of glamour and success. Politicians from the African National Congress circled around Africrypt, not openly, but close enough for investors to think, if they're here, it must be safe. The image was running at full throttle, gold-plated license plate Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royces, elite parties in private rooms, champagne flowing like a river. All of it, an illusion of reliability. If they live like this, the system must be working. They announced the launch of Africoin, the first African cryptocurrency, and promised to open the first crypto bank in Africa. No licenses, no actual products, but in the eyes of the crowd, it looked like the future had already arrived. From 2019 to early 2021, Africrypt pulled in $3.6 billion under its management, including 69,000 bitcoins. Every new deposit made the pyramid taller, and at the same time, reinforced the crowd's belief that it was standing on a rock-solid foundation. But that foundation was sand, and the tide was already creeping in.
By April 2021, Africrypt wasn't just at its peak, it was standing right on the edge of the cliff. The crowd just didn't know it yet. The Cajee brothers knew perfectly well. If the big investors started pulling out en masse, the pyramid would collapse faster than a house of cards under a ceiling fan. So, they started rehearsing the final act of the show, and the script, flawless. First, pull out everything, down to the last Satoshi, but leave the platform's interface untouched, so investors could keep staring at those rising numbers in their dashboards, convinced everything was still on track. Second, funnel billions through Bitcoin mixers, then into privacy coins like Monero, where transactions vanish from any investigator's radar like a ship disappearing into fog. Third, vanish into a country with no extradition treaty, somewhere neither Interpol nor furious investors could reach. On April 3, 2021, the withdraw button on the site suddenly stops working. Transactions freeze. Investors start to sweat. Then comes the email. A hacking attack has occurred. We are working on recovery. Please do not contact the police. It could hinder the process. This wasn't just an attempt to calm the herd. It was a trap. Give people hope, buy time. A few days later, the site goes offline. Phones are dead. Email accounts? gone. When journalists show up at Africrypt's so-called innovative office, they don't find servers or trading terminals, just a regular house, empty. Blockchain analysts soon uncover the truth. Massive transfers had been going out weeks before the so-called hack. The money was being siphoned off, mixed, scattered, and disappearing into Monero and other privacy tokens. It wasn't a hack, it was a precision-engineered heist, rehearsed down to the second. The Cajee brothers didn't just disappear, they evaporated, leaving behind the smell of burned billions. And, as it turned out later, this was not a spontaneous escape. Everything had been planned. Several months before the hack, the brothers obtained citizenship of Vanuatu, a tiny island country that for Interpol is like a black hole. You can get in, but getting someone back out is almost impossible. Then, an international episode that could have been their end. August 2021, Zurich. In one of the safe deposit boxes, the Swiss find a cold crypto wallet. The suspicions are obvious. For several months, the police waited out, like a hunter in an ambush. And on November 9th, 2021, Ameer Cajee takes the bait. He comes for the wallet. Arrest, charge, money laundering. Everything seems clear. But here comes their brilliant move. The wallet is encrypted in such a way that even Swiss experts are powerless, proving that inside our stolen Africrypt assets is impossible. Ameer spends 6 months in pretrial detention, then is released on bail of 300,000 francs. The court leaves him with a travel ban, but it is only a pause in the game. Meanwhile, a strange maneuver begins. A certain investor offers to pay the victims $5 million, but only in exchange for the withdrawal of all claims. Journalists quickly find the connection between this investor and a company called Panatone Project Management, directly related to the brothers. August 2023, Ameer gets his passport back. The very next day, disappears from Switzerland. Raees all this time, like a shadow. Not a single photo, not a single confirmation that he is even on this planet. 2024, South Africa's financial regulator officially declares Africrypt was not registered as a financial organization. We cannot conduct an investigation. And that's it. Case closed, all evidence into oblivion. The result? 69,000 bitcoins, which today are worth about $7.5 billion, dissolved into the digital darkness. No compensation, no charges. The Africrypt scam enters the list of the largest cryptocurrency crimes in history, and the Cajee brothers, into the pantheon of legends of the criminal world who went all in and left the table with the chips.